Hello, this video is part 2 for my pattern crochet Tammy hat. I call it Mom's Tammy hat. And it's going to be from rounds 9 through 16. Rounds 9 through 13, the stitches are decreased. And rounds 14 through 16 is the brim pattern for front post and back post. And then there is a flower optional that you can put on the top of the hat, which is single crocheted using a magic circle. Please subscribe to my page, Tiffany's Crafts, and thank you for watching. Please watch my video on YouTube called How to Decrease Stitches Crochet Basics for So I just finished round 8 and I have a 20-inch circumference going across this whole hat. And that's good. And my goal at the end of round 10 is to have a 19-inch circumference. And the way that I do that is through decreasing. Now, I had made in the previous round, in round 9, I had done 3 stitches in the front and 2 on each side. I ended up actually doing more decreases than that. So you have to play with the material to see how many decreases that you need to get to the circumference size of your hat that you want it to be. And of course you want to keep trying the hat on while you're working on this. So my goal is 19 inches, and so I'm going to decrease them, but not in the same places where I had decreased in the prior row. And you can see where it's decreased. For example, I can tell that it's been decreased here because I can see there's stitching in here, this stitch, and this stitch, but I can see like a little bit of a hole here, and that's how I know where that was decreased. And again, I can see my next stitch, I'm going to do a decrease because I want this round to be 19 inches. I'm only going to be making this round 1 inch smaller than the previous round, so I won't have to do too many decreases. I'm probably going to be doing 3 in the front, 2 on each side, a couple in the back. So we're going to be decreasing it. So the way that we decrease is that we are skipping this stitch right here, and we're going to be going to the next stitch. So we're skipping this one, we're going to the next. A 12-inch circumference is ideal for most yarn weights. However, with a thinner weight material, you're going to want the circumference to be bigger, because it may not fit the head because the material may not stretch. So if you have a 12-inch circumference and the material is not stretching, you're going to want to do increases in that round, in round 11. Or you can take round 11 out and just make it bigger to where it would fit. Now, since I'm already at 19-inch circumference and I only have to get to 12, I do not have to do too many decreases. Just where I feel that is appropriate. And trying to evenly space the decreases throughout the hat. So if you have 2 on one side, you want to do 2 on the other side. Or if you have 3 on one side, do 3 on the other side. Round 12, double crochet in the round. No beads in this round, and the last hat that I made, I had used a different color brim. I used alpaca, and it turned real nice. The hat was yellow with a white brim. It just depends on what color you want to go with your hat. And it's very easy to change colors. To change colors for your brim, you're going to add the new material to the beginning of the round by taking the strand of new material and knotting it to the old strand. And then continuing your double crochet in the round. Okay, here I'm decreasing. I'll be doing more decreasing in this round to try to get to a 12-inch circumference. It's the goal, but not necessary, depending on how you want to make the hat. And remembering that you want to keep trying this hat on while you're working on it to make sure that it fits. We'll see you at the end of this round for round 13. This is round 13. This is the last round that I will be doing before I begin the brim. And we have decided that we are going to change the color for the brim. And so I'm going to make this round with the color of the hat. And then at the end of the round, I'm going to be adding this Chanel pink material. And I will show you how to do that when we get to the end of that round. And I'm also going to continue to decrease for a 12-inch circumference. I finished round 13 and I'm beginning round 14. I did reach the 12-inch circumference, but after putting it on my head, I realized that it was too small. So I pulled that round out and I continued with making one more round on 13, the size of a 17-inch circumference. See, it just depends on what type of yarn you're using. Sometimes the material works great for a 12-inch circumference, and sometimes it works better for a 17-inch. Now, I had used this brand before for other hats, and I had done a 12-inch circumference and it was fine. So it's always good to try on the hat and make sure that it fits well. So we have decided that we're going to put a secondary color for the brim. I'm going to be going with this Chanel. It's very lightweight, and it's thin. The material is thin. Now with this hat, you can go with a thicker material if you wanted to. That's what I did for my yellow and white hat, and that worked out well. Or you can go with thinner. Thin is fine too. If you're going to go with thicker, the hat will be more comfortable, because when you have a thin hat and then you go with a thinner brim, the thin material will feel tighter. So we're going to go with front post and back post, and we're going to add a secondary color. So to add a secondary color, it's quite easy. You're going to chain, well actually we're not going to chain 3 at this time. Okay, so we're on our last stitch for round 13, and we did 3 slip stitches to end it, to end the round. So you have this loop here, okay, and you have this loop, and you're just going to take this material and you're going to knot it, and that's how you're going to add it. And then after you knot it, you have 2 choices. You can either cut it, your old yarn, or you can cut it short, or you can cut it long and weave it in with the hat. It's just based on personal preference and what you like. And when I loom knit, I usually will weave it in. And with crocheting, it's optional. But of course though, if you're going to weave it in while crocheting, you are going to see the old material, the first color, the first main color. So you would use the Fair Isle technique where the material is in the back of the new color in order to not see it as much. Okay, so we've knotted that. Here's our old material. And then you're going to take the end of it that you just cut and you're going to knot it. I'm not going to weave it in. I have done the Fair Isle technique before with beading, and it works very nicely by hiding the old material behind. So if you were going to be Fair Isling with this to weave this in, and this is your main color, your first color. This is your new color. The way that you would do that is you put the old color behind the new, like this. And then you would double crochet it. That way, when you're wearing the hat, you would only see the pink, the new color, and not the first color. I will do a few to show you for demonstration. And again, keeping this white material, which is the first main color, in front of the pink. And then you're just going to go through two colors when doing your double crochet. And that's how you would do that. And that's how it would look. So it's a preference on what you like. I'm going to do it again, but as you can see, this is much smaller now and shorter, so you're going to keep the white on the back. Now the white isn't going to show as much, but if you had a different color that would show more, to be more visible. Then you would definitely want to make sure that that color is hidden behind. Okay, so now that's on, and we completed that. We did it on 2 different stitches. And that's how you would do it if you were double crocheting, especially if you were in round 11 doing the beads. That's how you would do that. And then you would take your material and put the beads onto the yarn while doing that Fair Isle technique with the embroidery floss. So I'm going to pull this apart now. And we'll start on the brim. Okay, so we are on round 15. We just finished 14. We just showed you what the Fair Isle technique is, and we showed you how to change colors. And you can see how it kind of looks like a braided look, where you have this in the front. Actually, this is the back post, and that's the front post. And you can see the difference from looking at it from a different view from when the hat would be on the head. You can see how it kind of has a nice braided look to it. So the next round is going to be exactly the same. Now, because we started with this, because on the first one we had did a double crochet, and then we had added on the color. So when we start here, we want it to be front post, because this one was front post, and we want it to stay the same. So wherever you do a front post, you want it to be a front post. Wherever you do a back post, you want it to be a back post. But we have this here, and we're going to want something on here. We just don't want nothing on here, but other than this knot. So we're going to add an additional post to it. So if we have back post and we have a front post, you're going to either have 2 front posts where this knot is, or 2 back posts. So I'm going to go with 2 back posts. It's just based upon personal preference. So chain 3. Now we're going to do a back post, and then we're going to chain 3. bit different. We're going to go, we have this front, we have this back. We're going to go front, back, front. That's how we're going to do this. So we're going to go front, back, okay. Now we're going to chain 3. That's going to give you your height for the next round. Now we're going to go front. And then back. And in front. I like to make my tension as loose as possible when crocheting. Not too tight, not too loose. So I will see you at the end of this round for our last round, which is 16. Round 16. You can continue after round 16 if you wanted to. If you wanted the brim longer. And the reason why you might want the brim longer is if you want to fold the brim and roll it up. I'm not going to be doing that for this hat. Now, if before you started the brim, you would do slip stitch, then begin the brim pattern. And optional is to create a flower on top as a pom-pom or a butterfly. For this hat, I'm going to be making a butterfly. I'll show you how to do that. And some extra notes on this hat is that the hat is slotchy in the middle due to the increases in the body of the hat. I had mentioned that earlier. Always remember to chain 3 at the beginning of each round, and at the end of each round, slip stitch at the 3 chain stitches. Remembering that those chain stitches are not are thought of as a stitch where you would be doing your pattern. And round 9 through 13 are decreases. Make sure the hat gets smaller to reach the size circumference for each round that you want. And if you wanted to make the brim larger, you could increase the number of rounds while making the brim. And remember to stagger your increases in each round to make sure that it's a complete circle, a true circle. Okay, so we're going to do round 16, and then I will show you how to make the flower on top, which is very easy to do, and that will also be with double crocheted. Please remember to like and to subscribe if you like this video. I appreciate if you would do that. Of course, the pom-pom, the flower, is optional. I like the way that the flower pom-pom is going to look. It's going to be, because the Tammy hat is slotchy, it's going to be on the back side. I will see you at the end of this round. This is the end of round 16. This is the hat completed. This is what the brim is going to look like. And this is how the front of the hat's going to look when it's on the person's head. And this is the front, and then this is the back, and the front, and the back, the front, and the back. And through that you can see this somewhat of a braided look on this brim. That's the top of the hat, and this was at the beginning right here, and where the magic circle is, and I have a video on my YouTube page on how to make that. So before we finish this hat, and we cut this off, and then after we cut this off, we are going to sew in